By nature, I'm lazy, so I like engines. And when it comes to playing in the snow, I prefer snowmobiles. When it comes to going out fishing, I'd prefer my grandpa's old boat. It's got an old outboard on it. So just kind of the way I've been raised as far as being around engines, you know, burning gasoline. My dad and I, we used to work on our race cars in the winter, and whenever we got really the need of engines, we'd fire up the Silver Crown car in the garage. And Silver Crown cars run on methanol, so you can only stand it for just a little bit before your eyes start to burn and you have to crack the doors. But between listening to the engine roar and smelling the methanol burn, those are the things that we did just for fun. My grandfather was into racing. My dad has always been into racing. My dad wanted to be a race car driver, and the story as to why he's not is kind of a crazy one. My dad, my grandfather, and my great-grandfather built my dad a micro midget. The micro midget back in the day was the small version of a midget, which was in the early 50s, mid-50s, was the thing to do. That was what everybody raced, was midgets. Everybody came back from the war and raced midgets. And my dad went to go practice it and drive it around and make sure everything worked fine. And my grandfather was riding on the Nerf bar on the side of the car. My dad couldn't see where he was going because my grandfather was riding on the car, and they hit a light pole. Sent both my dad and my grandfather to the hospital for a night. And my grandmother said, it's not gonna happen. He's never gonna be a race car driver. My dad always wanted to be a race car driver and was, I guess, not allowed to be. And then therefore, his desire turned into my future. From you know, changing oil to rotating tires to pulling an engine, you know, cleaning it up and doing all the things you need to do. I've been raised by my dad to do that, and therefore the true love of automobiles, which the heart of an automobile is the engine. My first car is a 1974 Triumph TR6. It was my 16th birthday present. This was my grandfather and grandmother's Sunday cruising car to go get ice cream or whatever. And, they had it for a while. My grandfather had a stroke, couldn't use the clutch anymore, so he was going to put it for sale. And my dad said, "Why don't you give it to your grandson for his first car, his 16th birthday present?" And my dad and I totally restored the car. We took the whole car, stripped the body down, pulled the engine out. I rebuilt the entire drivetrain. My dad rebuilt the engine, had the body painted, and put everything all back together. And it's an awesome story, and it's a way to tie a family together, and that's one of the beauties of automobiles. Engines have been a huge part of my career, a huge part of my personal life to get it right, to be able to beat the competition by understanding and working and doing it together as a team, and in my case, a family. Vroom, vroom. I always liked, I will never dislike an engine. Even if you burn your hands on the headers, you're still gonna like engines.